Gordon, I've been watching these types of White House meetings now for years and years. I've never seen anything like that because they're usually an exercise in politeness in front of the reporters, saying something to the effect of, I'm so grateful that so and so leader is here. I'm excited for the conversation. Then the tougher conversations are behind closed doors, away from the press. That's not what we saw on Friday. In fact, in my reporting, I've never seen President Trump so angry. He struck a different tone when he was addressing Congress on Tuesday night, saying that the Ukrainian president has reached out to him, wrote him a letter saying that he's ready to have a deal. But the United States did pause military aid to Ukraine this week. So let's say there is a deal struck. Does China think differently about being emboldened to invade Taiwan, or even being more emboldened, rather?
Yeah, I think that we see China, which believes it now has an opening because the United States is not on the same page with its allies and friends and partners. Also, you got to go back to the day that Kabul fell. Taiwan was in the minds of the Chinese leaders that day because we saw Chinese propaganda say that when China attacked Taiwan, they didn't say if, by the way, they said when. Taiwan would fall within hours and the United States would not come to help because the United States failed in Afghanistan. So Chinese leaders view these events through the prism of their own aggression or potential aggression in East Asia. And that's why we've got to be extremely concerned at a point where the world is just so fragile. We just don't know what's going to happen. We have China and Russia working very closely together. We have China and Iran working together. This is a situation we haven't seen in our lifetimes. And these are the types of situations that history can remember, and remember because of the worst outcomes that resulted.
That's really alarming, and I am interested to see what plays out from that White House meeting when we look back at future events, if we can pinpoint that White House meeting to being the starter to them all. I know that you said China said when, not if, and I think that's really important. So do you agree? Do you think it's a matter of when and not if China invades Taiwan? And what specifically are you looking out for next?
Yeah. At the moment, I don't think, I don't think that China would launch hostilities with an invasion of the main island of Taiwan. And the reason, Brittany, is because to do that, China would need a combined air, land, sea operation. That means Xi Jinping has to give some general or admiral almost complete control over the entire Chinese military. That would make that flag officer the most powerful figure in China. Xi Jinping, on his best days, wouldn't do that. He's certainly not going to do it now, where we see propaganda from the military organs very much challenging Xi Jinping. So, for instance, propaganda organs are praising, quote unquote, collective leadership. That's a direct challenge to Xi Jinping. So, although the Chinese military can engage in low-level provocations, as it has, for instance, against Australia in the last week, I don't think it's unified enough to actually invade Taiwan's main island. So, at least for the moment, I believe that's off the table. But that's not to say that Taiwan won't get involved in a war, because if there's a war someplace else, it will spread throughout East Asia and Taiwan will become embroiled in it.